Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the SOMM TV podcast. I'm your host, Jason Wise. On today's episode, we are going to celebrate the fact that a feature-length film on the country of Georgia, directed by myself and the team that made SOMM, is just about to release on SOMM TV. To prepare, we are having another conversation with a Georgian winemaker who makes wine and cider. He's one of the very first people to make cider in Georgia on a commercial scale because cider, as you'll learn in this podcast, was kind of considered kind of a faux pas. You don't ferment anything but grapes in a country like Georgia that has 8,000 years of history with wine. So you'll find out he's a bit of a maverick. His name is Rezi, and he is the head of Perry Wines and Zakara Cider. We're going to talk about what it's like to grow up in Georgia just after the Soviet Union fell, how that country recovered from probably one of the greatest economic difficulties, and how wine helped it happen. I really look forward to you seeing this episode on SOMM TV if you're a subscriber, and listening to it now if you're a listener. Without further ado, my conversation with Rezi, and a gentle reminder to look forward to our feature film coming on SOMM TV about Georgia. I've never in my life been to a single country that is so involved and so encompassed in wine. I mean, there's literally not a street, not a place, not an area I can go where you don't see signs for wine, you don't see someone drinking wine, wine's in all of the art. I always thought of France and Italy as these places where wine was sort of in their blood, and I had no idea until I came to Georgia that it was that times 50 here. I am with Rezi. Rezi's a winemaker and a cider maker here in Georgia, and we're going to discuss a lot of things about Georgia, in particular surrounding wine. Rezi, welcome.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, you're right. In Georgia, when you walk around, when you walk in Tbilisi or in any region of Georgia, you'll see sign, you'll see people having harvests outdoor. Even sometimes in the center of Tbilisi, you can find that grandpa is crushing grapes and doing fermentation, because they used to live in villages and they moved to Tbilisi, they moved to capital city, and they have this kind of desire to create something they used to create in their own land.
So people are making wine in Tbilisi?
In Tbilisi, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe you've observed on high buildings, 5th floor, 6th floor, you can find their grapes are growing on it, vineyard. So I call it vertical vineyard. So urban winemaking, urban viticulture is very common in Tbilisi. We are talking about the capital city, right? Urban winemaking and urban viticulture is something new for rest of the world, right? For California, for New York, for
I don't even think it's happening. If you go to New York City, you might find like, I don't know, someone sleeping on the street, maybe. I don't know, I see many vines.
Not wines, but wineries you can find.
Sure,
so,
okay,
yeah,
like an urban winery.
Yeah,
okay,
urban
okay.
wineries.
Yeah.
But we're at Tbilisi Wine Restaurant in the city center of Tbilisi, and if you walk around in the radius of 1 kilometer, you can find few vertical vineyards.
Right.
And if you come during this season, September, you'll find how people are making wine in the city.
You talk about wine culture, and there's a big difference between restaurant wine drinking culture and wine making where everybody knows how to do it. You know, there might be varying levels of quality, but it's like, you know, somebody knows how to make wine. I just find it to be an incredibly eye-opening experience being in this country. And so now that the wine is emerging on the world stage, I want to talk about kind of some of the challenges you guys are going to have, or having, or maybe not having. But before I do that, one thing that I think there's a misconception about Georgia. I think when I tell people I'm going to Georgia, people think post-Soviet. You know, there's this element of, well, that used to be part of the Soviet Union.
Or Atlanta.
Yeah, or Atlanta, Georgia. Or they're like, they're like, don't the Braves play baseball there? Yeah, I think that the misconception about Georgia is, first of all, just not what I expected. It's a very, very different place. I've been in some Eastern European places that were former Soviet places, and they kind of have a, how do I say this in a way without sounding offensive? There's a heaviness to them. There's a weight, almost a sadness. This is one of the happiest places I've ever been. Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy.
Because wine has some alcohol in it. So, at the end, wine is gastronomical product, and at the end, we drink it to be happy.
Yes.
And to be more social, and to share our mood, our deep things about others or about ourselves, how we feel it. That's what is Supra is about. You're sitting on Supra, and dinner.
We should say Supra is a dinner with more food than the normal person can imagine.
Exactly. And more wine than...
More wine than I mean, there's no end to the wine. And then also, the cha-cha, the grappa that is made by you guys, which I still only say grappa, it's different, but it's a similar thing that Americans can relate to. But it's everybody, the whole toasting thing. So a Supra's a big dinner, and everybody, there's a toast master, and they talk a lot and say a lot of things, and emotional speeches and all of these things. And it's a really, really fun experience and pretty emotional. I gotta say, we've been at some dinners, and we have a film coming in July on SOMM TV that is gonna go through all of this stuff, but we went through some dinners, and some of these speeches and toasts and things are very emotional, very thoughtful.
Yeah, that's why people, friends, family are sitting together, having some food, drinking wine, and talking about life.
Right.
Talking about their feelings and what others feel about them or about themselves. So it's kind of, I would not say it's old way, but same time it's new way of social communication. So, for example, a few thousand years ago, we have not had any Facebook or Instagram or to share something. So we were sitting on the table.
1,000 years ago, yes.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah, now we're losing a bit this tradition, but we also trying to keep it. It's not only about Georgia, I think. It's been in many, many countries in the whole world. People were sitting and talking about life. Either it was wine, whiskey, coffee, tea, but in Georgia it's wine, and it's national drink. And sometimes we joke about it that there is a wine in our blood.
I don't think it's a joke. I don't think it's a joke after this week I've had.
If you check it on Hangover, maybe you have some.
One of my favorite things, just really quick, is a diversion. I love what people consider the hangover food in a country. And we've done a lot of episodes on how to treat hangovers and how to deal with it. Truthfully, really just don't drink. That's the way to treat a hangover. But you guys have khinkali, which, is this dumpling, meat dumpling, soup dumpling.
Exactly.
And is that what you guys do for your hangovers?
Yeah, if you Google or if you ask to ChatGPT what to do when I have hangover, it says eat some salad, and stay hydrated. But like 85% of the wine is water. And you stay hydrated when you're on the hangover, having some sparkling wine or white or cranberry wine and eating khinkali, You already tried on
yes,
right?
Yes.
We call it hangover party.
Hangover party.
And
it's like a morning Supra.
Georgians are aiming Supra to have a hangover.
Okay. So
to start the game.
The point is to have a hangover. My God. Amazing.
It's a joke, but
yeah. All right. So I want to talk about this period. You're born in the 90s. So you weren't around, thankfully, for a lot of some of the hardest stuff, or maybe you can't remember. But I want to talk about Georgia coming out of the USSR Soviet period. During that period, Georgians still made wine, right? Because, America and Russia, they've got some history together, to say the least.
Still have.
Yeah. Another podcast, maybe. And I wonder, what was it like for you growing up after the Soviet Union? So your whole life has been post-Soviet Union. What has it been like?
So what's happened in Soviet Union, if we talk about wine, was that Soviets needed more quantity and not quality wine. For example, in Georgia it was possible to produce 100 liters of wine, for example, but they wanted 1,000 liters of wine. So how to make? Falsificate, right? Add some water, add some sugar. They wanted to fill the plants and...
But just a quick question. The Russians didn't want good wine? They just wanted alcohol? I mean...
They had plans each year, and they wanted to increase economy in production artificially. So make the wine, people need wine. But it was not possible to produce good quality wine. Of course, Russians, Americans, Europeans, Georgians, everybody has good palate. And if you ask to people to differentiate good and bad wine, they can, even if they are not good in it and if they're not professionals, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody can differentiate. But somehow it happened that they had plans, they had some numbers, and they needed to fill it. That's when Georgian people, not 100% of the families, forgot the taste of good quality wine. Because we've been with Soviet Union for around 70 years.
Yeah, that's generations.
And that's generations. And people were thinking that fabric wine, like winemaking, big conventional wines, was the taste of the real wine.
So industrial.
Industrial,
Yeah.
Even in the villages, in regions, people, farmers, they were working at big fabrics and big industries, and they were observe on how big winemaker was making wine, and they have repeated it. So that's how people have lost their knowledge and their palates and started to produce falsified wine even in their families. But that was kind of positive for us since we have changed our opinions and our taste and have started to produce high quality, good quality, zero falsificated wines. And today in Georgia, I can say that we don't have falsification. I cannot put my head. Maybe there will be someone like 0.5% of the winemakers who may try to produce falsified wine.
Listen,
but
every country makes some junk
exactly.
wine. You can get some of the worst wine you've ever had in France if you want, or Italy, or America, or Germany, but you can also get some of the best. And so, yeah, of course. But what I'm wondering is, what was the spark that restarted Georgian wine? Because I'm here now. We happen to be drinking cider right now, which is a nice treat considering how much wine I've been drinking. And we'll talk about that. But what I want to know is, how did it start back up? Because the wines I'm drinking are world class, like for real. I know that everybody's trying to show when I come there, they want me to taste the best stuff they have. But listen, everything I've had has been great. It's not an anomaly. And I've had wines from 12, 15 different wineries, and they're all great. So my question is, when did it start where it was like, we are going to move towards doing wine that is good again?
There are a few reasons. The generation changed, and the professors who taught me how to make wine at Agricultural University of Georgia, they are world-class professionals. They studied in Germany, France, Geisenheim, for example, in Paris, in Bordeaux, in Burgundy, in USA. So, like previous generation professors who I had, who are around 45, 50, 55 years old right now, they are considered first modern generation of modern Georgian wine. Georgian wine is, I call it paradox. It's one of the oldest and one of the new. We have 8,000 years history, and same time we have around 20 years history.
Sure.
And education changed everything. Then my generation, I would say I'm second, third generation of modern Georgian winemakers. We went to different countries. I've been in California, in Sonoma, worked at Rodney Strong Winery for 1 year. And then I moved to Europe for my master's degree. I lived in Portugal, Porto. I lived in and studied in Bordeaux. I worked in Burgundy, Nuit Saint-Georges. Also, I worked and studied in Barcelona, Tarragona. So international experience.
Which is so important. I mean, all the French winemakers, they travel too. Everybody does.
Yeah,
and you can't live in a vacuum. I think it's a very important thing.
And sorry, the Soviet Union was vacuum.
Yeah.
And the borders opened. People have started to explore, taste different wines, and they had questions in their mind.
Is there a moment where, like, some winemakers from here go to Italy and they're like, oh no, our wine is shit? Was there kind of an epiphany of like, we've got great grapes, we've got great land, it's time to turn it back on, kind of a thing?
Yeah, that's the main reason, I would say. And of course, the Georgian government have started to promote and work on Georgian wine. the quality of Georgian wine, especially the National Wine Agency. From 2011, 12, 13, have started strong and strategical work to increase the quality of Georgian wines, control the falsification, and promote Georgian wines around the world.
Yeah.
Without international recognition, it's not easy to sell your wine, to build your business, and to create something different and special.
Yeah, no, completely. Well said. I want to know, what do you think now? Because, look, here's a fact. The wine is great. The wine is good. The wine is way better than... When I look at what a cost of the most Georgian wine is in the United States, it is way better than the cost, which is always a really great way to get somebody to go, you should just try this wine. It's like, it's not that expensive, and it's really good. So it's always a great way in the door. But what are the big challenges that you guys, from your perspective, do you see in selling this to the global market? Because you already have you've got great wine. You've you've got the story. Now, how do you get it out there and get somebody to pick it over Italian wine? Or, not that you're in competition, but you get my point.
The international recognition, for example, if you ask to random people in USA or in Europe or in Asia about Georgia, they would still say it's Atlanta or where is it? This kind of questions, Geographically, we're not known. We're not popular country yet, as for example, Italy. I'm not comparing Italy and Georgia to each other, but still.
There's a lot of comparisons I could make with Italy and Georgia.
Yeah.
Because the foundation of wine and food is very rustic, very, very provincial. It's like the food is from here. This is one of the most astounding places I've been from a food standpoint, because everything is so fresh and local, and it's a really, really interesting thing. There's a lot of countries that claim that. There's a lot of places that walk, but they don't really do it perfect. This place, you guys can't do it any other way. It's kind of really fascinating.
For example, for ex-Soviet Union countries, Georgia is super popular. Like, I would say for them, if you ask them, it's number one country. It used to be number one country in Soviet Union.
For wine and food?
For wine and food, and for people, and for hospitality, and everything, for nature, diversity, and we are a very open country, I would say. Since we've been 70 years closed, we are promoting ourselves slowly. There is big potential in Georgia, big potential in Georgian gastronomy and food, and I think that people of the world will slowly understand, travel here, taste Georgian wines, taste Georgian food, and will love Georgia. For example, Georgian food is one of the most popular and growing in New York. There is a very famous Georgian chain, Chama Mama, the restaurant chain. They've opened 5th place right now in New York. And there are around 40 Georgian restaurants in New York. So slowly, USA, Europe, Asia, is getting know Georgian wine. One of the reasons it's hard to make Georgian wine popular is also that the international consumer, alcohol consumer, wine consumer, is no longer drinking as much wine as before. So that's why I created cider. for new generation.
That's interesting, yeah.
The cider have never been popular in Georgia. Cider has 2,000 years history.
Sure.
It's been farmers drink, but in Georgia it has 5 years history. Nobody used to produce cider here because it was shame to produce apple wine, because we had so much grapes, so much wine that nobody wanted apple wine. Still, if you ask the older generation, I have apple wine, they're gonna say, oh no, I'm not gonna try this. But people love cider in Georgia, young people.
This is delicious. Yeah, this is lovely. I love this. It doesn't surprise me. You guys have so much fruit here, so it makes complete sense that you would have. I mean, people who have not been here, the valleys here are beautiful. They're surrounded with green valleys with all these orchards and cherries, and it's honestly, it's not what I expected. I don't know what I expected, but I expected it to be a lot more mountainous, and forgot that between mountains there are valleys, and that's where everybody is. Yeah. So it's a very fascinating place when it comes to. It doesn't shock me.
Well, but Georgia we can split in two parts: Eastern Georgia and Western Georgia. Eastern Georgia has continental climates where you can grow almonds, olives, We have our own olive oil, any type of stone fruits, great quality grapes, and Western Georgia, where is the climate is subtropical, and because of the Black Sea,
very Mediterranean.
It's wet, Mediterranean, and you can grow mandarin, kiwi, feijoa, orange, lemon, but banana is not possible to grow.
You know, strangely, I have not seen a banana in this country yet. I've been here for a week.
Yeah, it's imported.
No bananas. Well, America, we import them too, trust me. Yeah.
Well, Georgia is very small and very diverse.
Yeah.
You need just 7 hours to cover the whole Georgia, and the nature changes in every hour. So you go north in the Caucasus Mountains, you have ski resorts. You go down to the Black Sea, you have a beautiful sea and beautiful resorts where you can swim. You go to east and you have beautiful vineyards. It's paradise, I would say, for the people who wants to travel and who cannot decide travel in Asia or Europe, because it's really in the middle. It's not Asia, it's not Europe, I would not say. For me, it's not 100% Europe, it's not 100% Asia, it's not Slavic country for sure, and it's not Middle East. Georgia has its own spirit, has its own style.
It really does.
It has the mix.
Really does. It feels kind of Mediterranean. It feels kind of not. It is completely its own thing. Well, here's what I think you guys have to do. A lot of people go to countries like France or Italy or Greece or Spain, but a lot of people go to two countries when they're in Europe. You know, Americans especially, Australians. You got to make them go to Georgia as the other country. Because I think about this, like, if someone's going to go on their honeymoon to like Italy, get them to come to Georgia as well in the second part of the trip, because this is a country that has all the stuff, all of the great things that these other countries in Europe have. But what it also has is it's so, I say this in the best, most complimentary way, it's so rustic and interesting.
Yeah, wild.
And wild. Yeah, for real, but safe. You know, in a weird way that's like a very safe wild. So the food is really fascinating, but it's not unfamiliar. The meat is delicious, but it's not unfamiliar. It's like everything has a very, like a comfortness to it. And I say this with no hyperbole. I think these are the nicest people I have ever worked with, ever. And I adore the people of all over Europe. I mean, I've had nothing but wine people are the nicest people. They really are. There's just incredible hospitality. But Georgia in particular, I feel like if I was to just be like, give me your shirt, somebody would go, here's my shirt. I mean, it's just an incredibly nice.
Never ask Georgians to give you that you like something, because in 1 second they give it to you.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that. Let's see what I can. Let's see what I can get out of Georgians in the next 24 hours.
But choose good stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I want to end this with talking. I'm an American. I'm coming to Georgia for 5 days. All right. What do I do? How do I take that time and see the country the best? How would you plan out my trip?
2 days in Tbilisi.
2 days in Tbilisi.
2 days in Kakheti.
Kakheti, the wine region, right?
And 1 day in mountain region, I would say.
What do I do?
It depends what you like to do. You like to taste wine, you like vineyards?
I like to eat and drink and be somewhere beautiful.
Okay, Tbilisi.
Okay.
Kakheti.
Yep.
And I would say Kazbegi. Yeah, 2 hours drive from here in mountain region.
And what am I going to do in the mountain region?
Oh, just hike.
Okay.
And drink.
And drink. Drinking and hiking.
Drinking and hiking is the new style of
that's my new show. I'm starting a show called Drinking and Hiking. And you'll see it here on SOMM TV soon. Listen, your cider is beautiful. I look forward to tasting your wine here in a moment. And I really appreciate your traditional dress you're wearing. Those of you listening can't see this handsome man.
Yeah.
But
thank you very much.
Those of you watching can. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Galmarjos.
Galmarjos. I want to thank all of you for listening. Man, am I excited for this film about Georgia coming. If you're a SOMM TV subscriber, obviously you know where to find it. If you are not, go to sommtv.com or download our apps on any device or smart TV and start watching the hundreds and hundreds of hours of award-winning content already on SOMM TV, and then watch our film about Georgia. Don't forget, we also have a feature-length documentary that's been long in the works about the Judgment of Paris coming very soon. Go to sommtv.com, subscribe. We look forward to hearing what you think. I want to thank my producer, John Adams. I want to thank Jackson Myers, who shot the episode on SOMM TV. And I want to thank most of all you for listening. Please leave us a great review if you love this podcast, wherever you listen. It really, really, really helps us. Find yourself a glass of Georgian wine and enjoy it, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.